Well, we didn't miss much in the Premier League, did we?
You know, it's all wrapped up, isn't it? Apart from
relegation race being blown wide open.
Yeah, that was all.
Never winning. Mino Raiola actually dying this time after his defiant tweet. Yeah, no,
what a gangster.
Nothing could have happened that we could have talked about last week. No reason to miss last week.
No. I forgot that Everton, because even before the Everton-Chelsea game, you messaged like, this is it, he's done. He's sacked after this game. Then he won.
Yeah, no, look, I don't know. It's one of those things. Frank continues to surprise me.
Yeah.
What's my absolute that he goes down? I think I locked it in last week. That Everton go down.
I think we did lock that in. Yeah.
Well, that would be par for the course. My absolutes are just falling away one by one.
Yeah.
I have to rely on Arsenal to get many points, which is not where we want to be in any situation.
Well, when you messaged me yesterday during the City game, and you were like, "That's it, I've lost the absolutes."
Yeah.
For about a minute, I was like, "What's he talking about?" So, could you imagine being a listener?
Oh God! Don't say that.
And then I was like, "Oh, of course, the board."
Yeah. Well, last week, the last episode, there was 2 times where I said play the clip, and you just didn't play the clip.
I couldn't find the clip.
It was the Christmas Day clip.
I know, but remember the audio on the Christmas Day is all fucked.
It was, and because I listened back to that episode to find out what it actually was, and it was absolutely not. Is the saying? I said absolutely,
of course,
absolutely not.
Yeah.
You got a lot of things right actually at that time.
Yeah,
I guess we're kind of what midpoint of this midpoint review.
Yeah.
That was kind of at the time. I mean, you were like, Newcastle definitely stay up. Money means everything. I didn't think they'd spend 100 million in January. It's never done before.
There's no way they were getting relegated.
Yeah, well, that makes sense now. And then you backed. I think you made some pretty accurate Champions League predictions as well.
Really?
Yeah, I think you said Bayern will fall away like they always do. No, I think you said Bayern will get caught in the hop actually. Yeah,
I did well.
Will Tradamus. Every go back and listen to the Christmas Day episode. Will was on fire.
Maybe I will put those clips in.
Yeah.
It's funny though because I couldn't imagine. Now I don't know when Bayern lost. I was like, "Whoa, that's a shock."
Who would call this?
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before. They're imposters.
I think to ask me, for my opinion, a little bit unfair.
But in between that, there was drinks.
Why are you talking rubbish?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast with Cathal and Will. Beautiful Thursday afternoon here, post Champions League madness. I wouldn't have thought that this Champions League week would have topped last week, but I don't know anything. If you're by the absolute boards. When I was listening back to that episode, we had like, hey, everybody leave your absolutes down below and we'll say, absolutely or absolutely not, or you disagree with ours. Not one comment.
Well, no, because no one got that far into the episode, I would say.
Like 2 likes. It was, 0 reactions. I didn't even cop at the time.
The Instagram algorithm has really crushed us.
Hey.
We've been punished for not using it every day.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I mean, surely the listeners, if you don't know what the Instagram is now, now's the best time to go look. Go back to our post in December 2021 for the absolutes and check out our predictions for the season, But I don't know. It was an unbelievable week. I think, though, we can all learn something from Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Like, just never even consider losing. Whatever job you applied for, whatever girl or boy you're talking to, don't even think about not working out.
No,
not for a second. It's gonna just like the way they played. Like there was never anything in their head that said they were going to lose that game.
Yeah,
which is insane.
In the 89th minute, it was still like they'll probably come back.
But look, for everyone else watching, it was gone. That 88th minute, 87th minute.
I think so.
Jack Grealish has a better chance. He's set now.
Yeah.
He's not off balance. He has a clean shot.
Yeah.
He's putting that right in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
That's exactly where it's going. Courtois, by the skin of his studs, sticks out boost, just push it around the corner, around the post. You're thinking, like, why, man? Game's over. Like, you might score 1, but you're not going to score 2. Like, why was he doing that? Because that competitive spirit, that just winning 4 Champions Leagues gives you this kind of invincible quality that, like, of course I'm going to try and say this. We're still in this game. This game is still on. We're still in it.
There was an amazing moment in the match. I can't remember if it was an extra time or a normal time, but where the goal line clearance.
Mendy.
But it was like one of the best goal line clearances I've ever seen. And you know what they did after it? They didn't hoof it up the pitch and like cheer. They passed it and then started playing it out from the back, like the most calm set of players I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before. Of like, you've barely saved this game, and 2 seconds later, you're just like back to business as usual.
Yeah,
it was insane.
We've talked about it this season a lot, like how much belief matters in football.
Yeah,
Newcastle have found it again.
Yeah,
Man United seem to be kind of losing it. Real Madrid, though.
Yeah,
I mean, they've lost Ronaldo. They've lost Ramos. They've lost Bale, I guess.
Yeah,
how many of the Champions Leagues did he win for them? They don't care about that. It's innate in them. Listen, instead of Benzema and Modric and Kroos, but
they're all very old.
But that's what I mean. Like, they've won the 4 Champions League. They just do not even think about losing.
Yeah, there
was no way that they thought that game was
over.
All
before, like they've been down and come back before. It's no biggie.
The last time I think of them in the Champions League game was that Gareth Bale 90-minute winner.
Yeah,
where it looked like Letico had done this.
Yeah,
and it's that, and then they went on to win 4-1 because it was exactly like last night, where because Real Madrid had equalized.
Yeah,
it was like, oh yeah, well, we basically won that game. Well, actually no, technically they did win that game. They hadn't won on the aggregate, but I mean, City just completely looked like they had no answers once Real Madrid got the 2 goals. Like the game completely changed.
Oh, in extra time, City, it was like they had given up. It's like, you were just winning.
Yeah.
Like it just totally changed. Like, oh, there's no way we can stop this momentum. It's like, try.
Yeah. And look, I don't know, you'd love to say another Pep blunder, but I mean, he did everything right.
Everything right. Yeah, he didn't overthink anything.
I think like bringing Walker on one leg to Mark Vinicius, that worked really well.
Yeah.
And that was like, when you're sitting at home, it's like, don't put Fernandinho on him. It's obvious.
Yeah.
It was obvious. He did it. I mean, the thing is, like, Walker before the game, he was out for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And that was like the proper kind of medical analysis of it. Like, yeah, give this injury his age, given the way he plays, probably 3 weeks, probably the optimal time for him to rest, come back.
Yeah.
So he's back, in a week or a couple of days. He obviously wasn't meant to play there, but like, this is how we stop him. And they did, and they kind of had 2 men on him. And there was a great clip there where he went off eventually. Walker, and they're bringing Zinchenko on, I think, or he's warming up, and he cuts to Mahrez talking, like putting his hand behind his back, like, he's going back behind me, and Pep's like, go fucking back and mark him, you have to get back. Like, clearly being like,
keeps going past me.
But she's going behind me, the ball's over here. It's like, go back and double up on Vinicius. Like, that's why he's like clear. Pep's like, how is this hard to understand? Go back and mark. Mahrez's like, but sure, I don't fucking hate that shit.
I don't want to mark.
Yeah. And then of course fucking Mahrez hoofs it, rifles it into the top corner on the near side. No one expecting that shot. So it was like, okay, well, that's
yeah. Good thing he wasn't back there.
Good thing he wasn't back there. He was like out of shot. Like, Bernardo got the ball in the middle of the pitch. As far as I could see, no one around him.
Yeah.
Where Mahrez was, like, right in the sideline, waiting to cut inside, like a Grand Theft Alvarado there on the sideline, waiting to cut in. The game was over then,
Yeah.
for everyone bar those 4-time Champions League winning Real Madrid players. I mean, I don't know. After the game, though, they do that in Spanish football sometimes. They have the cameras in the tunnel after to show them winning, which is a weird thing. You never see that in the Premier League, but they're all coming in, all like hyped, shirts off, jacked dudes. And this might be a small thing, but they all said "Vamo." Like, Vamos. Or
So like,
but they didn't say it in their own accents. They didn't say it in their own like if I was there, I'd be like, Vamos. And they're like, no, it's Vamo, bro. Like Brazilians.
Yeah.
Alaba came in and said Vamo exactly how
they've all just heard it so much.
They all say it the same way though.
Yeah.
They're all like, they're all saying the slogan the same way. They're not saying Vamos or Vami or whatever. Like, no, it's Vamo.
Yeah.
That's what we say when we come back from,
Yeah. When we pull off the upset, we all shout this.
Yeah, so there's very much a team there. I thought dropping Alba was a big call, actually. Was he injured or what?
I'm not too sure.
Bring a Nacho back in. I haven't seen him in a long time.
When you were saying about them being together, I'm sure you saw the pictures after they won the league with Ancelotti and stuff.
Yeah.
that team loves each other.
Yeah.
When they're all in like the backwards caps and Ancelotti, that's like that team is going far. There's
Yeah.
like a load of teenagers as well that are just like, this is the best.
Yeah.
We play for Real Madrid and we're savage and we're winning. We have a good manager.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't really fault Pep,
No.
like sitting on the subs. I mean, you know, De Bruyne, you could see he has the live stamina tracker on his face. He was red as tomato. He had to come off.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have his most influential game, but I mean, he obviously worked hard. He was up against pretty good midfield there, Modric, Kroos, and
an all right midfield. Yeah.
and who's this, Casemiro as well. Casemiro,
What a game.
when the referee,
Yeah.
the ref do tend to swallow their whistle a bit in semi-finals and finals.
Yeah, because you want to, especially in a big game like that where it's like it's dramatic and stuff. It's like, well, you don't want to fucking ruin this.
Not their job.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Not their job, but that's definitely in their minds that
Yeah.
well, I don't want to send off Ramos for
break his
for driving side shoulder to the ground. I mean, that would ruin the game.
Yeah, the game's always started. You won't do it again.
That's what makes players like Ramos such a good player, because they know that.
Yeah.
And I guess Casemiro is now in that experienced category where he knew early on in the game he could just kind of tackle people and rip the jersey off people's back. Were you watching that on BT?
I was, yeah.
I was watching.
Was I ever?
I was watching on Virgin Media.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't hear, but I'm assuming the BT boys were probably snapping at that.
It was ridiculous. It was fucking to the point where I was like, why do they love City so much? And I was like, oh, it's just the English.
Yeah.
They want the English final. But there was one moment where, Casemiro's tackle, he went flying in, scissors motion. Later on in the game, Sterling, the exact same tackle, comes flying in. So McManaman's quote was, look, he's flying in, scissors motion, but that's not a foul.
I actually
those are the words. You can't say those words.
When that happened first, I thought that's a great tackle by Sterling.
Yeah, that's what the BT has, right?
And then when the replay kind of showed him taking man and ball,
he's flying through the air. You can't do it.
Yeah. The Casemiro one was from behind.
Yeah.
Which is always been free.
Yeah.
But the scissors motion is quite
yeah.
harsh in the eyes, especially on the replay.
Yeah, when you're flying through the air and your goal is, I'm going to squash his legs together and pull him down.
Yeah, how can I go through this man from 3 different angles at once?
And when you're doing a scissors motion, you can't kick the ball.
No, you're not going for it. Oh, you're trying to scissors the ball to maybe
pull it back.
Squirt it up in the air and then going to head it. There's no reason that would help you get the ball. So yeah, Casemiro maybe should be an off, but they did a good job. I mean, the midfield for City was decent as well. Rodri and Bernardo, they had good games. Like, that's the thing. It wasn't like there was a capitulation from City. They had chances in the game. So did Real Madrid. Now, they didn't have a shot on target, I think, till they scored that goal.
Yeah.
But Benzema was offside a couple of times. It looked like one of those things where it's like, oh, this is where he loses the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. yeah. It's this moment.
Because this is what people remember, him getting knocked out and kind of drawing a blank and like, oh, he bottles it. Which is like, I always hate that shit in sport, because like, you say, they don't get that goal and it finishes 1-0, City win. Benzema didn't have the greatest game, offside, didn't have a shot on target. Is that what you want from your superstar? Kind of thing? It's like, what are you talking about? Like, he was up against a really good City midfield.
With a really good manager who knows how to block.
Yeah, they didn't know about fucking Benzema from the first game or from his, entire season. They're obviously going to be marketing him. So, I mean, but that's all you can do against a good team like that. You got to, lead the line and wait for chances to come and draw people in. And listen, like we're saying, Pep didn't make any bad decisions, but the substitutions from Real Madrid were unbelievable.
Yeah, really good.
I mean, Rodrigo, I know I've seen a couple times in the Champions League, but if you're not following Spanish football, you're just not kind of aware of these players.
Yeah.
You always assume if you sign for Real Madrid,
he's good.
You have a certain quality. Although I did see Danny Ceballos coming on, I thought, I can't believe that man's going to play in Champions League final a year after what happened last year. That's sport, I suppose. That's the loan system in action.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think, it's going to get to the point where you get signed by Real Madrid, you're probably okay.
Yeah.
But what an inspired substitution.
Unbelievable.
2 goals in 90 plus minutes.
Well, I think it's just like those young lads, like Vinicius and all them. I mean, this is the game. This is like the goal, the movie goal moment. Like, it's a Champions League semi-final or 2 goals down. Get the fucking superstar teenagers on. This is what they've been literally dreaming of.
Yeah.
I'm going to win this. I'm going to turn this around. Like,
yeah, because like I said, you're playing with the 4-time Champions League winners and Modric and Benzema, all these guys in training every day. You're on the bench. You're just like, you want to, I suppose, impress these guys. You're thinking, I'm not trying to take their place just yet, maybe, or whatever the mentality is. But like, you're definitely inspired playing with these lads. So then
100%.
you're playing, you're down. It's like, Camavinga, we need you to come on and do this for us. And he played unbelievable when he came
was
on.
involved in every single goal, I think.
Like the definition of fresh legs.
Yeah.
He was just striding on the pitch. Rodri was absolutely gassed by the end. He played the whole game.
And that is a pretty, not like old team, but the City team is, compared to the teenagers, is aging. Like,
it's not, it wasn't full of youth. I mean, the City substitutions, you looked at their bench coming on, and like, I don't know, we have a go up Grealish for very obvious reasons, but like, he had 2 chances to score.
Yeah.
Like, if that goes in, then it's like, oh, he's paid back his £100 million. You can see the fucking tweets. It was unbelievable defending from Mendy. You know, like, I thought that was like, oh, that's over the line. That's one of those, it was so close. I was like, that must be one that's over the line, but it clears off. It was that, millimeters.
He was like, and as normally when you see the goal line clearances, they're like, it's someone standing on the line ready to block it. He was sprinting back toward the goal when it happened. Like, it was insane. I've never seen something like that. I
was watching after the post game analysis. It was Damien Delaney.
Oh, goody!
Handsomest man in world football. A jaw that would cut glass.
Yeah.
And Brian
talking about Adam Ida.
No, what they were talking about a former Irishman, Jack Grealish. Him and Brian Kerr.
Oh.
And of course, Damien Delaney, magnanimous, very down the middle. True analyst was like, no, I think Jack Grealish did as well as he could. And Brian Kerr was like, nah, nonsense. He should block both those crosses coming in. And they went over that for like maybe 5 minutes. David was like, he got done. Like, there was 2 of them. And like, it did show, like, for the second ball, Grealish like runs out. There's 2 Real Madrid men there.
Yeah. So
there should be someone else out there with them, or someone should be coming back, whatever it is. And he kind of like just drops his shoulder and does them. And Grealish still kind of gets back at him and gets a foot in front and just like bends the ball. It was Danny Carvajal.
Yeah.
Bends the ball around Grealish's foot onto, I think it was Vinicius' head, then onto Rodrigo's head.
Yeah. It's insane.
Usually when the ball, like, he takes a deflection, you miss it. It's like as if he knew the ball was going to take a deflection off his head and just like rifles the thing. There was really nothing more that Grealish could have done.
Yeah.
But Brian Kerr was like, nah, fuck him.
Fuck him. He's like, not so happy now.
Well, he should have.
I did think, did you see after the game, like, just watching the City players like walk off, or so like some players were crying and stuff. I was like, this does not bode well in the league. The pressure is still on there, and no one's going to be talking about the league for them for the next few weeks. It's going to be like, losers, they did it again.
Well, this thing, they've won the league 3 times in the last 5 years, something like that. The Champions League is a big one. Same as when Liverpool won the Champions League first. It was like, that's good and all, but the league was the big one. The City were the opposite. It's like, okay, we won the league because we have the biggest squad and the most money. The Champions League is knockout football. It's like big moments. This is what the real test of your mettle. Now look, Real Madrid could do both. So the fact that you haven't is kind of like, how much would you spend on that? So I don't know. And you can't say, oh well, the Premier League is tough because, like, well, you look like you're going to win that one.
You've been walking that the last few
so
years.
There's no kind of like excuses like, oh, the Premier League's tougher than the Spanish League. Well, you win the Premier League. There's nothing that kind of says, you shouldn't have won that game and you shouldn't be in the final right now playing Liverpool.
Did you see that tweet for about every time Pep's been knocked out of the Champions League in the last 10 years? It's been a flurry of 2 or 3 goals in like 5 to 10 minutes. So it's just like something happens every time. It must just be before the game. He's like, do not let them score 3 in 2 minutes. It'll happen.
I know. I'd love to lay the blame of Pep's door here, but I just wonder.
This time was nothing to do with him.
Nothing to do with him. It was just that Real Madrid team. Unbelievable bunch of players. Like, Modric has definitely surpassed Iniesta and Xavi in my eyes.
I think so as well.
Which is never something we would have said. You think back to when he signed for Real Madrid first and was voted the worst signing of the year. I think it was co-worst signing of the year with Alexander Song from Barcelona. I think where both their careers have gone from that moment on.
Oh, so what a mean award to give out.
I don't think it was an official ceremony. It was, I think, voted by fans of every other club but Real Madrid in Barcelona. But nevertheless, there was truth to it that, like, he just was not good enough at the time. Like, he was kind of like this kind of light, kind of attacking winger / number 10. Didn't really do much bar goals and assists. I've seen a few of them over the years. And he's turned himself into, like I say, probably the best midfielder of our generation.
Like, and it still feels like a lot of people don't really talk about him, or
I think
weirdly underrated somehow.
he's getting there now. I mean, you can't. You mean getting to the World Cup final with Croatia is another.
That's insane
Big
alone.
Yeah, it was a good Croatian team though. To be fair,
Yeah.
like Mandzukic again. No one's going to remember him because he was a bit kind of awkward and a bit whatever. But he scored goals and he was a winner as well. He really grinded out the results. Rakitic as well, Kovacic. Even you might laugh at the Liverpool centre back, Lovren.
Yeah.
Like we would love a player as good as Lovren.
Oh my God. He would die for us.
Argentina would have loved a player like Lovren.
Yeah.
Like their centre backs over the years have been just nowhere near that standard.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a good Croatian team, and again that belief, that togetherness, like spearheaded by Modric, of course. Yeah. But it was a good Croatian team. But getting that final, losing that French team was no mean feat.
Yeah.
For a country the size of us.
Yeah.
And all the Champions League wins. Like say you take away Ronaldo, you take away Ramos, you take away the Gareth Bale, the game winners, all the signs that came along. Modric is still there. He's back there again.
Yeah.
You can't just say, oh well, you can't do it without other players. Like he's there again with like Vinicius, with young lads and old lads. Modric is still there, boss of the midfield.
Yeah.
I know. How do you think Liverpool feel playing Real Madrid?
I don't know. I think Liverpool are not going to have too hard a time. Like, obviously, it'll be a great game.
You're going to write off this Real Madrid team? You're going to write them off after last night?
Honest to God, I thought fucking...
Unbelievable.
Oh, but like, how many goals did they concede over the 2 games?
Yeah. Well, look...
Liverpool don't do that.
Well, maybe we should talk about the Liverpool game then.
Yeah.
Because that was...
That was insane. That was a team who had written someone off.
Play the clip. I was just saying, shocked.
Yeah, I would be very surprised.
I will be shocked. It would be amazing if they were to go to Villareal and blow this.
Yeah. It would be genuinely shocking.
Yeah, I would be shocked.
Yeah. That's why I said it.
I agree. I would be actually shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking, like, I don't know. I did not see that coming. But maybe the most surprised people in the world were the Liverpool players. Yeah. In particular, the Liverpool midfield.
Yeah.
Thiago, we were sucking off like no tomorrow. He might be the best player in the world. I can't believe he's so good. He was trash.
Yeah.
Absolute trash.
Garbage.
And Chiesa.
Yeah.
Chiesa nearly should, he had that through ball for the for Villareal for the penalty. That was his fault.
Yeah.
If that's a penalty, which, if the striker wasn't, so focused on getting a penalty, all I do is tip the ball past Alisson, go over, penalty. Yeah. All day long, because Alisson came flying out.
Yeah.
He came flying out, nearly cleaned. Well, he did clean him, but he was looking at him thinking, he's going to clean me here. Yeah. All I have to do is do nothing. All you do is one thing. Kick the ball away, then go over.
Yeah.
He didn't kick the ball away.
Yes, and it's a tackle.
Alisson, it came through him and the ball hit his wrists.
Yeah.
He wasn't even looking at the ball. He was like, oh shit, he's going to run into me. They were both looking at each other. No one went for the ball. And that was, like I said, on Chiesa. If that chance goes in, that's a penalty that goes in, the spirit's broken then.
Yeah.
They're now behind 3-2. You got to score 3 goals to...
But
no.
Let's not forget who's in goal for Villareal.
Geronimo! Oh my God.
I mean, up until I think it was the very start of the second half where it was like, Villareal might do this. This is amazing. What a comeback. And then Liverpool took one shot and he punched it away. And I thought, oh, hold on. Yeah. I've forgotten.
He loves a good punch, man. He loves it all flat with the ball.
Yeah.
Because the first game, I think it was Diaz, just kept taking shots on him.
Yeah, because it was definitely told.
He knew, this guy flaps, this guy isn't good. But they weren't, it's one of those things, it's like, if you work a well-worked move and you get a good shot on, he won't say it. But you just take shots on him, he's still a goalie. He's still a pressure goalie. He's not that bad.
Yeah.
But when they did start working moves and getting real good chances on him, Jesus, I mean... Shocking, keeper.
I think 2 of Liverpool's goals were kicked directly at him.
Yeah, and he just flapped him in the goal.
One went straight under the legs. Yeah.
Oh, under the legs is bad. I mean, that's just like... Goalkeeper 101.
That happens though as well.
But that's the one that rarely happens because they always go back.
Yeah.
They always go back. They make themselves big and then they go back and they stop with their legs. He's like, I'll make myself big. And
I'm a starfish.
Starfish with a massive gaping hole in my legs to go in. It looks bad. Again, this is a very high level we're talking about here, but it looked kind of like you don't see that at this level.
Yeah, especially at semi-final of a Champions League.
No.
The only time you do see that in big Champions League games is when Messi does it to giant Courtois because he's so tall he can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, but like it's Messi kind of levels.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
They would take.
He's thinking of that fucking 10 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, the only person, the happiest person I think, bar maybe Liverpool, is your man from Talk
Jason
Sport,
Cundy, is that his
Jason
name?
Cundy. He was right, Will.
When the game was, when Villareal were back, I thought, of course they're going to lose this. He went too hard. He
Yeah.
said too many things. It's like, there's no way. It's not Liverpool's fault. It'll be his fault because he's jinxed them.
Yeah,
But he got away with
he was right, man.
it.
He was right with everything.
Yeah.
That was a bad performance in that field.
Bad performance.
They were much better than that.
Yeah.
The keeper was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I agreed with the keeper's statement, but they might say, why didn't they play like that in Anfield? But you could see that they were absolutely bet by the end.
Yeah.
And the goalie letting in, throwing goals in net in any sport, it takes the wind out your sails like nothing else. It's like, oh man,
all the work we've done. Yeah.
you are a liability. And like, again, it's like, well, he could do that again.
Well, Liverpool know all about it. Remember, the whole thing with Klopp for years was Mignolet, Karius.
Karius.
Week in, week out, disasters.
Karius Champions League final thrown off Benzema's leg.
Well, he was concussed. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was insane. What a final that was. Hopefully the next one's as good.
Well, that's the thing. It's like when a guy does that, it doesn't matter how good you are, because like, well, I can't control that.
I can't stop that, yeah.
You know, like me giving the ball away, or like, you know, Robbo losing the ball away, I can talk to him and I can help him out. If it's behind me, it's 1-on-1, he throws off Benzema's leg. Or like, there's no tactics that help me there.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do in the gym that's going to stop him doing that. You know, you feel completely powerless. So I think maybe Villareal started well and they did tire, but the goalie throwing balls in the net was like, okay, well, we are fucked now.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was unbelievable. Capoue and Coquelin. Ghosts of North London derbies past coming to haunt Liverpool in the Champions League semi-final. I thought, what am I watching? That was Coquelin soaring through the air. He's never done that.
That whole team is so bizarre. Lo Celso as well. It's just the oddest team.
Yeah, Moreno on one leg, actually. That's why he wasn't playing the first leg. Yeah, he's kind of their guy.
Yeah.
So they had injuries as well. They came out like a house on fire. Blitzkrieged fucking Liverpool.
Yeah.
But the goalie really let them down.
Killed them.
But no, credit to Liverpool. Like I say, it's that similar thing of like, you were still in the game. I don't think to the same extent of those Real Madrid players.
It was easier to come back in that game.
We're talking about lads in their late 20s, not their mid 30s.
Yeah,
you know, so they do have a bit more energy than those Real Madrid boys. But like, to come back and say, listen, we've just been eviscerated in that first half completely. Like, they beat our own game. They pressed us high, took the ball off us, put under pressure, and they came back in second half and they made those mistakes happen, I suppose, what you'd say for them. And it's probably the best thing for them, I'd say. They kick up the arse because like, they kind of had coasted through the Champions League a little bit.
That was their first test, really.
Yeah. And like now, like you're saying, oh yeah, we should have no problem with these Real Madrid boys. We're too young, we're too fast. After seeing what Villareal did, and thinking, okay, well, if they can almost beat us, this Real Madrid team definitely can. They will not be taking that game lightly whatsoever. So I think I would back Liverpool, but I don't think it's going to be, you know,
it's not going to be like 6-0.
No, it's not going to be 2-3-0. It's not going to be 2-3-0. It's going to be a tight game, I'd say, and never write Real Madrid off. Because if you're up by 1, you're up 2-0. 90 minutes ago, they can come back and win. We've seen it.
I saw Klopp talking about half time where he was like, I would rather be hammered in a first half like that than lose a game 2-0 over the course of it, because you can set everything right immediately.
Exactly.
And like, you can just totally change the game then when you go back out. Sorry, everyone do the opposite of what you just did. Ignore what I said, and then like you can easily change it around.
Yeah.
Whereas like, oh, if they just scored one early, Liverpool are in the game, and then another totally different game.
Yeah, but this key, ironically, to Liverpool winning their semi-final and City losing theirs was the squad.
Yeah,
the subs that Liverpool brought on. Diaz, obviously the main one.
He is one of the most fun players I've ever watched.
Yeah,
he plays like I've said before. He plays like he's in a Nike ad of where he's constantly doing tricks. I've never seen a player do as much no-look passes. I think he did a no-look bicycle kick in that game.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah. No, he was like, that's a great stuff to come on. And like, Jota's no slouch either.
Yeah.
And Bobby Firmino also on the bench. Yeah. You know, there's real players that could come on and change the game and play a different way. Like I said, do the opposite is grand if you have the ability to do that. But like City brought on Sterling, who, you know, clearly is not in favour. He came on very, very late in that game. Really, like I say, you know, maybe should have that cross, you know, maybe score those goals. Could have, would have, should have, didn't. But the Liverpool subs that came on changed their game. The ones for City didn't finish it off. Didn't. It's mad situation that City squad is now worse than Liverpool's.
Yeah.
At this end of the season, like how did that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, I think when I was looking back on that for the Christmas Day episode, one of the titles for the episode was GG Manchester City.
Yeah.
League
I
was
actually
done.
listened to that episode not too long ago because it was like the only one on my phone and I had no internet. So it's like, I'll just listen to this.
Yeah.
There is, in that episode, we were talking about how we're like, City can't be caught now. They're 12 points, 13 points clear. I was like, there's no way they could possibly. And it doesn't feel like they've lost any games since then.
It was the games at hand was the biggest
Yeah.
thing. The COVID games, which, remember COVID? Like, this season feels like it's been going on for 10 years.
Yeah. Even when we were talking about like December being the midpoint,
Yeah.
December to now feels 10 years longer
You're
than
telling me,
September
man.
to December.
You're telling me. The fact this season has still has a few weeks to go, it is. No, unbelievable Champions League week.
Yeah.
Very, very enjoyable, which is
Yeah.
the main thing. I was watching it on RTE and Virgin Media. They don't have the fucking HD. I don't think. I know maybe RT does. Like,
Surely.
you only watch it on BT or watch it in pub and like it's HD thing. And I was
Yeah.
like, I might lose my eyesight. Like, blurs around the screen. But even still, it was a great watch. We have a Liverpool Real Madrid final, the repeat of the 2018 final.
Yeah.
I think we're both back in Liverpool, which probably means that they're going to lose.
Here's hoping.
It's mad how close Liverpool are to winning it all,
Or just having a disaster of a season.
or winning just the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, it's amazing. Did you see that thing going around where it's like, Benzema, the whole fate of football rests in your hands?
Oh, I know, yeah. Relax, Man United fans. I mean, that's the one part of football fandom that I really don't like.
They're like, oh, no, I couldn't possibly, they can't.
Well, I know it's like hyperbole for a tweet, or whatever, but like the faith of football humanity. It's like we can't let Liverpool win. It's like, is that really going to affect your life that much? Because if it does, you should probably change a couple of things, man.
You just stop watching football or
Yeah.
get new friends.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, it's going to ruin me.
yeah. Like I don't know, but yeah. When's that came out? End of May usually.
End of May, it's like the 26th, 25th.
Do you remember watching last year's final? How long does that feel? Out in the sun.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Chelsea were flying it. And it was like, there's no way Chelsea could possibly win the Champions League.
Yeah, fucking Rudiger smashed up De Bruyne's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that feels a long time ago now, but we're back there again, a whole year of it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that was a Champions League. I'm looking forward to the final. I'm going to back Liverpool, I think.
Yeah.
But you can't write off this Real Madrid team.
It should be good. They're both very fun to watch.
Yeah, no, they are. But finals typically disappoint.
Because everyone's nervous.
Yeah, like what? Liverpool's conceded 2 goals, scored 2 in the semi-finals, like, and then Real Madrid conceded what? 4 goals?
What was it, 6-5 in aggregate or something?
6-5 in aggregate semi-final. Yeah,
And it feels like every knockout game has been like that at the moment.
6-5 is like the score on penalties you'd see after a game.
Yeah.
You know,
A FIFA score of like, yeah, no one bothers defending.
but yeah, no, but the finals there, and it should be good. I guess we had Premier League this week as well, did we?
It's winding down very dramatically.
Yeah, we had some Premier League action. We didn't get an episode earlier on the week, but Everton win.
Yeah,
After my absolute.
Huge win.
Once again, they played that in the dressing room, I think.
You're going to let them get away with this?
Yeah, they're back in and out. Leeds actually have been dragged back in.
Yeah, they're plummeting.
A tough run of fixtures means no wins for them in a few games, and they're on 34 points. I think Everton are on 32. Yeah, so Leeds are on 34 points. Everton on 32. Burnley also on 34. Norwich are mathematically down, aren't they?
They're done, yeah.
Yeah, Norwich are done. Watford, I think.
Surely soon.
I think it's if they can write the goal difference is the only thing keeping
Good
them
luck.
up. Plus winning all the last games. So
Yeah.
Watford, for all intents and purposes, are also
Yeah.
down. So it is just between Everton, Leeds, and Burnley now. Listen, Everton are still in relegation.
Yeah.
You know, that win against Chelsea.
Chelsea are bad.
Chelsea, the wheels have really come off there.
And like Chelsea are they're not safe in fourth, but they're safe enough that they can afford a few slip-ups before like, all right, let's actually sort this out. So I don't think they were going into that game like, we have to win this, boys.
Yeah, well, it's you have players like Rudiger and Christensen, I think.
Pulisic is gone apparently as well.
Is he gone?
I think so, yeah. I think they're making moves. He's making moves.
Well, that's one thing. Like players always make moves, but like Rudiger, they can't talk to Rudiger legally.
But they can't talk to anyone.
They can't talk to any of their players who so they're walking the door and they can't offer them any.
I think
contract.
Azpilicueta is gone as well.
So it must be a weird dynamic there. That like you're not thinking I'm being mistreated here. It just feels like working in a company that's closing down.
Yeah,
it's hard to get yourself.
Yeah, like I can't imagine. Surely Azpilicueta would have been like happy to stay there for the rest of his career.
He probably would retire there.
Yeah, but now it's just like, no, you're not allowed, man.
But who do you blame?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no one to blame. There's no one to place your kind of anger at this situation. Like
it's just such an anti-climax, which is tough when you're also like, we have to get up for this game, boys.
Yeah, you got to go for the game, but you're thinking, well, this is shit. But like, it's not anybody Chelsea's fault. It's not even Norman Bamish's fault. I guess I blame Putin, but like, you're so far removed from his thoughts, you can't blame. Like, you just have this like emotion that you can't place anywhere, and then you have to go out to a game. Like, I have to win this game. It's like, but I've got so much that's going on. Like, I have to move my family out of Spain.
We need the Champions League next season. I'm not going to be here.
Legally, I can't. Legally, I'm not allowed to be here next year. So it must be a very strange dressing room.
Yeah.
And then you got players like Mason Mount.
Lukaku.
So many different situations, like where they are in their careers right now, what they want to do in the future.
Yeah.
Am I going to stay here? I thought this Chelsea ownership thing was going to be done weeks ago.
There was deadlines and they keep moving it. Did you see the new news in it though?
No.
It's pretty good stuff. So, remember Abramovich was like, "Don't bother with the loan. I want to pay it. I want to sell the club." The UK government said, "Great, we're going to invest half of that into our football pyramid." And he said, "Actually, if you're doing that, I want the loan paid back in full." So now there's an extra $1 billion onto the price. So it's going to keep going on and on and on.
Yeah.
Well, then it's a case of like, they might be in trouble.
But does he get any of the money?
I don't think he can.
I thought it was the sanction that he couldn't get any money from the sale.
I don't think it's like the money's gone though. I think it's a case of it's put away and he can't touch it now. But when he's unsanctioned, I guess, because there's no way they can just take it.
Who gets the money?
I don't know.
When this club is sold,
I think that's why he was saying, "Don't bother with the loan. It's too confusing."
Like he owns the club. Yes,
correct.
Okay, and they're trying to sell the club. They're forcing to sell to someone else. They pay, looks like $4 billion for it, which should shatter the record of all sports franchises around the world. I think like $2 billion was the record for some American sports team.
Yeah.
I think the Rams maybe something like that was.
Yeah.
But $4 billion is double that.
$4 billion was what the UFC cost
at
the height of McGregor and Ronda Rousey's fame. So that was huge, like.
Yeah.
And Chelsea is not that.
So someone's going to pay up that money.
Yeah.
To what bank account do I put that in?
Who do I sign this out to?
Not Abramovich. He's not out.
No. Yeah, but who?
Have like the UK haven't nationalised this.
No, but. So they were going to get the loan part, and remember he was like, "Give it to the Ukraine. That makes me look good." And they were like, "We're going to take it." And he said, "Actually, then no."
Well, he said, "Give it to all."
Oh, he said all of them, both sides.
All lives matter. He said,
yeah. Both sides, they're all good.
The great people on both sides.
Yeah.
No, I just don't understand it, and I'm not going to do the research.
No,
the folks know.
I don't even know how to do the research on that. There's no way I can Google where does Chelsea's sale money go.
We've just got to start at the top. Who owns Chelsea right now? And find the sanctions and figure it out. But like, it's very confusing to me how this is, and this is also probably why it's taking so long. They're probably asking the same questions. Who do I make this out to? And Brown's like, when do I get the money? Do you own my club? Do I own my club? I don't know.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Chelsea are like, we need to win this game.
Rudiger, get your head in the game. Yeah, so they lost Everton, which is a huge letdown for them. Yeah. Everton, who they play next? They play Leicester.
Leicester on the back of Europa League.
Is that tonight?
I think so, yeah. They're playing Roma tonight, yeah.
Europa Conference League tonight.
Did you see Mourinho's quote about it?
No.
He was asked, like, how big a game is this? He's like, semi-final is always important, You win a semi-final, you get to a final, unless you're sacked.
Oh, wow.
So he's still very much annoyed about that.
Never forgive, never forget. That's Mourinho's motto, I'm pretty sure. That's hilarious. I forgot about that.
That was one of the snakiest things I've ever seen in football, like in the height of the Super League. Like, also sacked, was it?
The same week, yeah.
It's the same. It was like a day later, while the fans were protesting. They were just, get him out. We're going to be billionaires soon anyway. What do we care about the Carabao Cup?
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. And then that same season, they finished in the Europa Conference League. Moves to Roma, who were also in the Europa Conference League.
Yeah.
Tottenham get kicked out of that competition for not playing games because of COVID. Mourinho now in the final hasn't forgotten about Tottenham. He's a great man when he's not the manager of your club, Will.
Oh, he's the best. He's blockbuster.
He's unbelievable entertainment. Like, imagine if that was if he was taking Man United to a final and he's talking about Tottenham, you'd be snapping like, shut up about Tottenham. Move on. Focus on our game.
I think we're losing this.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, so if Leicester play that game and win,
they have nothing to play for in the league, really.
No, they're like
10th or something.
11th, yeah, like very nice
beach territory,
mid-table. But if they're in a final, the Europa League final,
yeah,
it's like, okay, well, they're playing the B team against Everton. They give a fuck.
Yeah,
you know, they're resting Vardy,
and they're also thinking we might win with a B team against Everton,
and it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you know, good luck to them. But if they lose that. Again, it's like, you know, are they kind of like, okay, this Brendan Rodgers thing stinks.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sick of this.
I'm sick of this. On the other hand, though, for Brendan Rodgers, I mean, I know we're kind of going off track here for the relegation map, but like, you know, if you look back now, you go FA Cup, Europa Conference League. Sorry, how many European trophies had Leicester won before I was here?
Yeah.
Do you know how much money Manchester City have? Yeah. I'm doing my best here. Don't you dare sack me. And then other clubs might say, well, geez, if Brendan Rodgers can get Leicester to, you know, European glory, what can he do for us, a team with money and resources?
I mean, I'm assuming if you win the Conference League, you're in the Europa League, is that?
I would guess that. Don't know that for sure, but that would make sense based on the Europa League getting the Champions League. Yeah. So, you get European football. Yeah.
You'd be winning a European trophy and getting European football next year. That'd be massive.
Yeah, so Leicester have a lot of things to focus on outside of Everton.
Yeah. So
that could be a win for Everton. Who do Leeds play next? The Leeds play...
No.
The Arsenal.
Oh, that could go either way.
My last absolute standing.
You're trying to claw it back.
Yes, Arsenal will win that one handily. And who did Burnley play? Burnley play Aston Villa. They played them twice, actually.
I feel like I haven't seen Aston Villa in weeks. I've totally forgotten about them.
Well, you know what I was thinking? I've talked about the absolutes more than I've ever talked about any episode. But also that Christmas Day episode, I was saying we will see Lampard versus Gerrard depending on the fixtures. We have not seen it because they've already played them twice.
Yeah.
And Benitez was sacked at that point, but it was Duncan Ferguson at the helm. So that's why we won't get to see Lampard v Gerrard this season and probably ever, because they'll either get relegated or Frank should rightly be sacked after this.
I was actually, remember we were talking earlier about that episode where listening to the GG Man City one?
Yeah.
There's a bit in that. That's the Adam Ida episode.
Is it?
We watched that game.
Oh, amazing.
But that's when Rafa got sacked. And you immediately say, and they'll get a new manager. And then you, under your breath, say, probably Frank Lampard. And we laughed.
Man,
we get so much right every week.
Yeah. I mean, me going to Greece really tanked this whole podcast. They were good episodes. The last 3 months have been a train wreck.
We were on a little roll for a few weeks and then down.
On and off the pod, absolute train wreck.
How are Tramados getting on?
Well, they've actually made Chris Coleman their permanent manager.
No, what?
He did an interview, actually. Will you play the interview?
Sure.
What's the message to those watching back at home? Dream, you know, don't be afraid to have dreams. Because 4 years ago, I was as far away from this as you can imagine. And look what's happened. If you work hard enough, and you're not afraid to dream, and you're not afraid to fail. You know, everybody fails. I've had more failures than I've had success. But I'm not afraid to fail. And every now and again, I can't say every now and again because this has never happened to me. But I'm enjoying it. It's sweet, and I think we deserve it. Well, listen, we'll see you
in the Greek League next year.
See you there, Dan. Thanks.
Yeah, so it's good for Chris there.
Yeah, well,
he's staying on. He seems delighted, Will.
Yeah, he's buzzing.
I mean, bad news for our previous team. Gostep officially relegated from the
See
Turkish
that.
league.
Hey, look, as long as it doesn't happen 3 more times successively, I think they're okay.
Given their track record, Will, this could be
bad. There could be riots any day now.
This could be a slippery slope for them.
Did you see those videos of the Trabzonspor fans?
Trabzonspor, yeah.
Trabzonspor fans. I can't say it. Celebrating the league. It looked like the rave from the Matrix.
Yeah.
What a fucking league the Turkish league is.
Oh yeah. Well, we did it once, one and done.
Yeah.
That's the bandwagon wheel. A little impromptu bandwagon wheel there for you folks.
Hey, I wonder, does our old boy Halil Akbanar jump ship now somewhere? I don't know where it's taking him. He just tanked them.
Well, he did Harry Kane, signed a 6-year contract, remember?
Yeah.
He's stuck there for life. I'm never going to leave Gostep. Why would I leave Gostep? So yeah, back to the Premier League. We're kind of over bits here, but we're riffing out here, folks.
Yeah.
I think we're getting some good bits in here.
Yeah.
How much the stuff will make the episode? That's up to Will. Although my computer comes today, so you never know what might happen next week.
I'm going to say, thank God. Editing these podcasts takes time.
Well, when I do it takes even longer. But every clip every reference is in my head.
Yeah, you can always
constantly bouncing around.
You can tell who has the keys to the account from what's happening in the episode.
How many Will Ferrell clips there are in the podcast? It's usually one of us. So yeah, but I think it's up to Burnley to beat Aston Villa. I think that can happen. Leeds will not beat Arsenal, no chance. And Everton, I think, could beat Leicester. I think Leeds maybe now could be the front runners.
I mean, once you beat Chelsea, that's a lot of fucking, hey, maybe we are not so bad.
Yeah.
Hey, weren't we like usually 8th or 9th in the league?
No, literally, it's incredible. But I mean, the fourth spot race, I think it's probably between Spurs and Arsenal now, really.
But now, like, United won that last game handily because they're like, all the pressure's off. But like, there's only, if they win 2 more and Chelsea keep losing or whatever happens.
Yeah.
It's not like they're not mathematically going to. I think if Arsenal win 1 more, it's mathematically.
They're mathematically behind Chelsea.
Yeah.
And again, it's kind of like at the bottom. It's like if Watford to win all their games, they could mathematically stay up. But like, probably won't happen just the way they're playing. But yeah. Do you have games tonight or anything like that, or is it just?
We've got Leicester Roma anyway, for sure, and we've also got. Is the Conference League on Thursdays? I
think it is. Yeah, I think they kind of double header type thing.
Rangers Leipzig is tonight, and Frankfurt West Ham is tonight.
Yeah,
so there's lots of games,
lots of
semi-finals.
We should be back, I think, Sunday.
Yeah, probably Sunday or Monday. Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, and we'll be reporting all the Premier League action. The league come to a pretty exciting end, I'd say, Will. The quad is on, or is it not on? What's your take?
I think the quad is on.
Quad's on?
I think the quad's on.
City to bottom in the league now, spirit broken?
I think so. I think the quad is more on now than ever.
Wow. Well, there you have it, folks. The quad is on more now than ever. Liverpool to reign supreme for the next 100 years.
Greatest team in the history of football.
Wow. That's a big one for you, Will.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before. They're imposters.
I think to ask me, for my opinion, a little bit unfair.
But in between that, there was drinks.
Why are you talking rubbish?